Okay, I greet everybody, and let me apologize first for starting late with some music probably stretched for too long, but it was necessary because I needed to quickly change the battery to avoid story that touches. Okay, um, the topic is why. Again, before I even start, I want to please beg you once again to understand the following rules. Number one, do not rush to comment based on emotions because at least you have not heard me. So take your time first. If you want to, maybe you want to type comments to greet to say, okay, I'm just joining, blah blah blah. Yeah, let's do that. But if you want to comment on the topic, hear me out first, so that you don't run into making comments out of error. I like that. Okay, so when I finish stating my reason and I say, okay, I want to read comments, then you can now bring your opinion. All right, so that way we can understand ourselves. But I go to try do pidgin plus some contemporary mix of how we speak Yoruba English in Lagos, Benden, and then I put some pidgin. So I said that, and I've been saying it for a long time. The agitation for Oduduwa Republic has merits. The one for Biafra has merits. There's a middle ground too. Okay, but using this Herdsmen issue to fight or front for Oduduwa Republic will waste our time. It's a distraction. It will not work, and the politicians are happy that you are using it to distract yourself. I'm going to reveal a few things here now. I go to do I go to try. I'm not going to reveal everything, but I'll give you some hints to help you. Now, I said it before, and everybody already knows it. If you go and tender that kind of a thing at the international community, okay, that, okay, we want to have our republic because they are attacking us, the Fulanis are attacking us, that is not enough reason. Because everybody knows that if such thing is happening like cattle grazing, open or public cattle grazing is happening, the answer to it everywhere, every part of the world is ranching. Don't wait until Tinubu tells you that and you hail him. No. The answer to cattle grazing crisis everywhere in the world is ranching. Therefore, if you look at this matter very well, the answer to this particular crisis is ranching. And I've said it before that it is just a class problem. Now, listen to me. Most of the big politicians that are not speaking right now have cows. They have cows. If you have 100 cows, those of you who have or who into it, but you don't comment like every other people, you are not joining their emotions. You know what I'm talking about. If you have 100 cows, you are a very big man. And what are these big men? Now, let me say that Mieti Allah is just association, it's just like workers' association. It is the problem is that the cow owners are not the cow rearers. The cow owners they are not the Mieti Allah people. They are not cow rearers association. No. The cow owners are different from them. Let me tell you who the cow owners are. Politicians, musicians, generals, military generals, people in government, including judges, your obas. Go and ask them now. The speaker of the House of Assembly in Oyo State, where this crisis is currently happening, the speaker of that house, where is he from? No, go and check. Is he not from Ibarapa? Why is he not speaking? Are you asking questions? The person you use as your marigun, even though he manages to do some ranching. Wasiwa India has about 500 cows. It's time we begin to mention names. It's time we begin to mention it. Wasiwa India has 500 cows. See, these people, a lot of people are using it for money laundering. That's why they are cow owners. But because they don't really want to invest in ranching business, okay, I'm not saying the names I've mentioned are guilty, because some of them manage to have ranches. But I'm only saying that big people are the ones doing the cow business. Cow owners are big men. They are different from the cow rearers. It is the same case with people who have big companies, but they don't want to pay labor. So they want to pay cheap labor. They want the cheapest way they want to minimize their cost as much as possible and maximize their profits. You see the capitalist problem. So you look for the wretched of the society, the poorest of the poor, to recruit. Who can you do it? Like, I give you a business and I'm not really paying you well, and I say, go on, I just bought 200 cows from Enugu, match it down to Ogun State for me. Can you do it? So is it not the wretched of the earth, the poorest of the society that they are recruiting to do? And they discover that most of the people who are poor and can do this thing are largely in that tribe. So they recruited them. It's just the same way Boko Haram recruits people that you know that they are wretched of the society, and whatever you tell them and give them food is what they will do. That is exactly the problem here too. It is exactly the problem that we are facing here with these cattle problems and rearing and grazing. And the answer to it is, once there's such an uprising, for instance, once there's such uprising like we already have, and I want to credit Sunday Igboho because the government failed after many people cried out that the cow they are grazing in these reserves are straying into private farmlands, and they are destroying farm properties and farm produces, people's crops and plants. The cow owners failed to do anything about it, and that is what resulted in the crisis we are facing right now. So instead of us now facing the cow, because military generals own cows, they give them gun. Police commissioners, police people, you know, big top shots in government, they have cows, they are cow owners. They only recruited all these poor people to be grazing them everywhere because they feel that there are bushes around. Just go on. So the moment any farm owner attacks the cows, the cow rearers go back to report and say, hey, to kill my cow, they give them guns. Why are we not talking about that one? Where do you think they got the guns from? They are your government officials that you have refused to face because you are a coward or a hypocrite. Either of the two. Channel this energy towards the real source of the problem. Do you know what the next news line will be now? The next news line. Okay, they can't speak Sunday Igboho. There's a popular, you know, there's a popular crowd supporting him, so we can't pick him. Then the next thing they want to do is to say, okay, we want to start the ranching. Federal government will approve money frivolously for it is a business owners can have their ranches. Why must the federal government be the one to give them money to go and create ranches? Just because they want to hide under the public emotions that people are angry and they want people to ranch so as to address this problem. They will now use our taxpayers' money, billions, to fund cow owners to go and start their ranches. But you will not talk about that one. Our money to go and help private investors, big men who have cow businesses. They will now use our money to go and give them. That is the compensation that will happen at the end of the day. I'm giving you, go and write it down. Nothing, say you can't use this thing to achieve Oduduwa Republic. Don't waste your time. They will respond to it. Ranching is the simple answer. They will respond to it, use our money, collective money, to pay for ranching. Your National Assembly will not reject it. They will not oppose it. They are rubber stamp. All of them be that you are shy or afraid to face. But you are ethnicizing poor people that are recruited to be grazing openly. See, if they are teasing me and I go begin expose more, but I'm doing this because of the majority of the people who are now coming online, but are following the wrong information. Yes, it's good, let us flush them out, let us block it so that we can send message back to them. But if we are truly serious about this fight, let us start facing the real source of the problem. The people who are in government, who are the cow owners? That is the question to ask. The question to ask at this point is, who are the cow owners? Not the rearers. Who gave them guns? Because they are not paying them well. That is why they resorted to using the guns to start giving it to them. They recruited the poor, the wretched of the society, the poorest of the poor, because they don't want to pay them well. Okay? They don't want to pay them well. They recruited them. And they give them guns to protect their cows. Those ones, because they are not well paid, then decided that they now want to be using the weapons they have to be kidnapping people. It's just the same way when you have people who are employed here, even here in Lagos, and they are not well paid, they resort to corruption. Even NIMC. Even the NIMC. You recruit person in National Identity Card Office. You make it compulsory that everybody must go and collect. And you are not paying them well, you are not giving them protections. Even in the face of COVID-19 pandemic. Those ones are now collecting money to register people. Really? Don't you know that it is these employers that are the problems in this country? These employers who don't want to pay workers well are the ones causing corruption. The employers of these cattle rearers are the problem here. If you have so much energy, and you don't want, and you want to use it, but you are not facing the real owners of this cow because they are your politicians, you are either a coward or a hypocrite. Either of the two. You have so much energy, let us direct the energy completely. Let us direct it appropriately. Most of you here, it is your emotion that is driving you. Big men refuse to pay them well. If you are employed by somebody who is not paying you well, and you are exposed to people in the course of your dealings, you are a policeman, for instance, you are not well paid, and you have gone, you understand the reason why police are corrupt. The same way you employ people to be grazing cow for you, you are not paying them well. What do you think will happen? And you have given them weapon. So instead of us to now be facing these people and saying ranching is the solution to cattle grazing problem, you are not saying it because you know owners of cows. Some of you, yes, most of you people, you know them, but you are pretending. You want to ethnicize the problem. You will not use it to get Oduduwa Republic. See, if you must get Oduduwa Republic, if you must get it, let me tell you the fact. There are better arguments or premises upon which to lay, arguments for secession, not cattle ranching. It's cheap. Nobody in the international community will listen to that and support you. Nobody. Because they know that the response or the answer to cattle grazing problem everywhere in the world is what? Ranching. If you say, oh, let me say for instance, if you say, oh, the amalgamation document says 100 years is the period for which we are going to be forced together. And upon expiration of that 100 years, it is now due that we break the country that has already expired. That is a sane argument. That one is saying, if you mobilize people around this, it is a very strong point. Or number two, the local potentates were not consulted upon this amalgamation, and the constitution is also a fraud because people did not have input. Those are things that international community will listen to and support you. But if you want to rest, if you want to rest the agitation for the Oduduwa Republic on cattle grazing, they go anywhere now. But I saw some educated people though. I saw some of these educated people who said they were traveling down to Nigeria to support Igboho. And I'm wondering, but they are educated now. How can they not guide somebody at the center of this thing properly? If we are letting everybody know that the unit of problem we are solving, the unit of problem we are currently solving, is, I want people to see you are crazy, you don't have, okay. You that you have work, Simon Daniel, okay. Can you see? With all these explanations, somebody is not, and anyway, I'm not even addressing you, I'm addressing people, I know the level where they address. Those one know they comment anyhow. They call. They understand that. But there are still some people who comment because they listen to the points and they are good. They have been victims, so I don't have to be one. And you that are praying it for me, you will be too, in Jesus' name. I don't have to be victim. They are victims and we are saying they must be chased out. They must be chased out. These perpetrators must be chased. But that we will not still win the war if we don't start asking questions about the owners who empower them and give them gun. That's the point. So if you want to use the agitation against cattle rearers, association of people that they recruited to be poor people, wretched of the society, association of them that they recruited to be grazing cow is what you now want to use. When the answer to that is simple ranching, you want to now use that one to demand for a republic. You know the fly. You know the fly. Use other premises that are strong. And when I even saw, funny enough again, when I saw some people, majority of them, sponsored by politicians, when I saw them also leading, these presentations, and I said, I don't understand that. Now about 2023. It's about 2020. They will still, they will argue it so much, they will tense the atmosphere so much, and then the next thing, they will now use it to negotiate. These people want to break. If you don't give them Yoruba presidency, they want to use it to negotiate for presidency ticket for 2023. We know what this is all about. Otherwise, they will not be whipping up something that cannot achieve a republic, as if that is the premise to achieve a republic. If you want, those of you insulting me, I know that it takes time for some people to catch, but just be monitoring the events. Attack me today, but follow the events. Okay, in the next few days, they will resolve this matter. So, can you use it again to demand a Oduduwa republic? You can't, because the owners are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa politicians, all of them, using your money to be investing in cow business and looking for cheap labor. This is a crisis caused by cheap labor, seeking cheap labor. It is a crisis caused by it. So, Mieti Allah is an association of poor people that they employ to be grazing their cows. Bring cow, take 200 cows all the way from Kano, match them on the road or through the forest to Ogun State. It can only be a wretched person that will do that now. So, association of poor people that they recruited, Mieti Allah, to be doing that. Although they have people that they have now empowered heading the association, but the real workers that you see on the street that they give guns to, you can't use that one to achieve a republic. So now let me open the give my attention to the comments, because I have to go and do other things now. I only read comments that I know have sense, not all those ones who are just using emotion to, because it also shows that is why they don't take us seriously anymore. When they see the way you argue and they look at what is this one saying? Yes, it is a crisis, we know. It is a crisis, we know. So is that the basis for asking to, it's not, use other arguments. That one no go. Someone say, Oduduwa have many reasons to demand. Use all those other reasons. God bless you. No, they use this one. No, they look at the philosophical depth of everything before you use them. That one no rich enough reason to break a country. No rich. Once they settle down using ranching, simple. I'm not talking about whether she raised the answer. No, I'm not even talking about politics now. I'm discussing that breaking up a country, this excuse cannot fly. That excuse cannot fly. It's just a matter of the owners come together too. Mieti Allah is association of the poor people they recruit to be grazing the cows. But do you know the association of the owners? Do you know it? Do you know the association of the owners? They will call themselves, just start responding to these things, and that will end the matter. You can't use it anymore to ask for the Oduduwa republic. Use better premise. Not be all this one. This one is too petty. It's too petty. Use other reasons. You are telling us sorry, I missed that. In Europe, there have cows that have never heard that they move from place to place. Even with the man came to create Nigeria, we don't. People don't graze cows publicly anymore. It is employer-employee crisis of looking for cheap labor. This crisis has always been there. It's also part of why there is corruption in this country today. You employ people, you don't want to pay them well. They resort to extortion, corruption. It's the same thing. You gave weapons to people you are not paying well to be grazing cow all the way from Kano to Lagos. And you gave them weapons, and you're not paying them well. What do you think they will be using the weapon to do? It's the same way when you recruit cultists for politics, and after election you abandon them, and you already gave them weapons. What do you think they will become? It's a simple thing now. Miyetti Allah is association of who? What is Miyetti Allah? Forget that you see big people heading it. It's just like NLC. How much are Nigerian workers paid? Very poor. But if you see the NLC chieftains, you will not say NLC is poor now. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Why is that an issue? It's the same thing. And you don't want Fulani, fine. God, they will push them out of your lands. That is the answer to that one. That is not enough reason to now say you want to break it. You are not using the right reasons. That's the point. Listen all over again and you get the message. I'm not talking too much today. Bye for now. Larry Safari, over to you. Listen again if you don't get time. It's not my fault. I'm not the cause of your inability to get simple things. Your problem is not caused by me. Listen again and understand it. Bye for now.